KPBS On Demand is supported by Alliance San Diego, reminding you to vote early. Return your ballot at any drop box or vote in person at any vote center. And remember, you have the right to vote as long as you're in line on Election Day by 8 p.m. Visit alliancesd.org for more.
Good morning, I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. It's Tuesday, May 2nd. New CalFresh work requirements are now in effect. More on that next, but first, let's do the headlines. A Superior Court judge ordered the city of San Diego to pay $16.5 million to roughly 177,000 drivers that were charged late penalty fees. As first reported by the Union Tribune, this applies to San Diegans who received tickets between February 22nd of 2022 and March 31st of 2025. A judge found that late payment penalties were added to citations without proper notice of the penalties or enough time to pay. The UT says it's still unclear whether the city plans to accept the ruling, seek a settlement, or appeal entirely. An's Gelato is a local favorite and named the #1 gelato shop in America by USA Today. And now they're out with a new flavor series. Local food site SD Foodies says the team at the gelato shop spent months sourcing and working with suppliers from the Philippines on a new ube limited series. Ube is a Filipino purple yam with earthy notes of vanilla and nutty undertones. SD Foodie says each of the 5 flavors is named as a nod to a Filipino textile or fabric. The National Weather Service says a mild warming trend is expected in our inland areas. You can expect those temperatures to be 4 to 8 degrees warmer than average for this time of year. It's expected to peak on Wednesday or Thursday. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need. New federal work requirements for CalFresh food assistants take effect this week. The county estimates more than 90,000 recipients could be affected over the next year as they come up for benefit renewals. Health reporter Heidi DeMarco says local organizations are preparing for the impact.
New federal rules will require many adults 18 to 64 receiving CalFresh to show they worked, volunteered, or attended job training at least 80 hours a month. Amy Ellitz is the director of programs at the San Diego Food Bank. She says the food bank is bracing for the increased demand.
We serve, on average, over 400,000 a month already. So that's looking at almost a 25% increase.
Ellitz says people experiencing homelessness, veterans, and individuals with unstable work schedules could face the biggest challenges meeting the new requirements.
As we start to see folks roll off some of these benefits, we're not entirely sure what that's going to look like 2-3 months from now.
To help residents navigate the changes, the county and 211 San Diego launched a new website. Residents can find more information about the new requirements and qualifying activities at 211sandiego.org/work. Heidi DeMarco, KPBS News.
A pipeline that collapsed late last week in Tijuana is sending millions of gallons of sewage into the Tijuana River. Environment reporter Tammy Murga says that has led to worsening sewage odors near where people live and work.
The U.S. International Boundary and Water Commission says a pipeline in Tijuana broke down Friday night. That has sent an extra 25 million gallons of raw sewage per day into the river. The IBWC says the line has ruptured twice over the past 2 weeks. Patrick McDonough is with San Diego Coastkeeper. He says Tijuana has analyzed its wastewater system,
but they have not shared that report with the United States.
McDonough is working on getting Mexico to release the report.
We just want the full, complete picture of what the status of the problem is, and also then how the Mexican federal government and its respective agencies could solve these issues.
Mexican officials say they expect emergency repairs to take several days. Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
There are more than 800,000 dogs in the county. That estimate is based on data from the U.S. Census and the American Veterinary Medical Association. But as the cost of living rises, so does the cost of keeping pets healthy. As part of our series, The Price of San Diego, health reporter Heidi DeMarco looks at the growing price of pet care.
Hey, Cerulean. Hi, Lovey. When Tabitha Babcock brought home her Newfoundland puppy, Cerulean, she thought she was starting a new chapter.
The color blue. It was my favorite Crayola crayon when I was little.
But just a week later, everything changed.
He was really sick and he had to go to the ER. Basically was set on blood transfusions and glucose strips. It was really sad and life-threatening.
The emergency visit came with a steep price tag, about $4,000. And at just 9 weeks old, Babcock says she was forced into a heartbreaking decision. She signed a do not resuscitate order.
I signed it because it was like as much as my savings as I had. And I was like, I just can't, especially when like there was no hope really.
She says the vet didn't expect him to survive the night.
Dug a little grave for him in my backyard and just laid on the floor with him and was like, you know, buddy, can you please like fight as hard as you can?
And Cerulean did. Now 7 years old and weighing about 150 pounds, Cerulean is still by her side, a calm, gentle giant.
It was such a miracle. So that was how we started our journey together. Little trauma bonding.
After weeks of treatment, antibiotics, and follow-up care, he slowly recovered, but the financial impact lingered.
We lost that whole cushion, so then it was like everything else we had to buy, continuing on for those multiple months, whether that be medication or special food, was a stressor, like for me, for sure. It probably took a year to feel comfortable in life again.
An analysis of federal inflation data shows prices for veterinary services have jumped about 40% since 2021. That's faster than overall inflation during the same period. And dog owners in San Diego spent about 38% more on vet care than the national average, about $1,100 a year. The price increases are especially notable for preventative care. In 2021, dog dental cleanings in San Diego were estimated around $320. Now, the cost is estimated at closer to $700, and that's before any extractions or additional treatment. Kitties? Kitties! Good job.
It's a big worry that I think of quite often, and we try to do a lot of like preventative health, even for his teeth, but I do know he'll probably need some help and it'll be a big chunk of change.
For Babcock, those costs don't end at the vet office. Food, supplements, and preventative care can add up to about $375 every couple of months.
We used to do raw diet. That has absolutely gone up, so we absolutely do not do that anymore right now.
Pet insurance is one option for dog owners to offset unexpected medical bills, but monthly premiums can range from about $30 to more than $150 per month, depending on the dog's age, breed, and coverage limits. Cerulean has a pre-existing condition. Babcock says it makes finding useful insurance coverage more complicated.
I had, all the comparison charts, all the insurances, what would work best. And so ultimately it wasn't going to help me at that point.
Now, as Cerulean gets older, she's reconsidering it.
We've paid out of pocket since then. He's not had any major health issues, so we're just, praying and hoping that it continues that way.
Across San Diego County, dog owners say they're feeling similar pressure as the cost of living rises. Some say they delay or decline care because of cost. Others say they cut spending elsewhere just to keep up with pet expenses. For Babcock, the rising cost of caring for Cerulean has also forced bigger questions.
I think a big worry is would I have to move in order to afford a comfortable lifestyle, because it is so high in San Diego.
Still, she says the bond she shares with Cerulean makes the financial strain worth it.
He brings me a ton of comfort, a ton of peace. I'd sell all my furniture before he's not going to be taken care of.
Heidi DeMarco, KPBS News.
The city's poet laureate is more than halfway through her 2-year term. Arts reporter Julia Dixon-Evans has more.
When Paola Capo Garcia began her term as poet laureate in January 2025, she knew it would be a roller coaster.
But I didn't expect it to be quite as intense as it has been, which is a beautiful thing, right? That a lot of places in San Diego want to do poetry events.
She also continues to work full-time as an educator. Being poet laureate comes with a stipend, but she says it's just enough to cover the costs of her signature project, Apertura. The word means opening.
Because it is an opening, it's an invitation to people to experience poetry in a different way and to open themselves up more to the possibilities of poetry.
Apertura includes a video poem exhibit and 3 poetry zines featuring youth, Latino and Filipino communities, and people impacted by the justice system. Ultimately, Capo Garcia says she's found this year of civic poetry to be a kind of proof for her mission.
It has affirmed to me, or confirmed really, my suspicion that a lot of people want and need poetry in the city, and that I do think that it is for everyone.
Poetry submissions for Apertura are due August 1st. Julia Dixon-Evans, KPBS News.
Digital Gem Cinema is joining a global film festival to offer counter-programming to summer fun. Cinema Junkie Beth Accamando is excited about a week-long film series catering to her dark side, Bleak Week, Cinema of Despair.
LA's renowned American Cinematheque has expanded its Bleak Week Cinema of Despair to nearly 100 theaters across the United States and around the world, creating a global film festival that explores nihilism, existential fear, and the dark side of humanity. This is not for the faint-hearted, and obviously not for everyone. But if you're like me and love films that embrace the darkness with fearless artistry and sometimes breathtaking beauty, then this is the festival for us. Glenn Heath Jr., artistic director of Digital Gem Cinema, kicks off the festival on Friday with Andrzej Wajda's 1957 Polish film Kanal about the Warsaw Uprising. Heath says his selections reflect a year of war and the world's current descent into madness and self-destruction, while also highlighting our collective resilience. Kanal is part of Wajda's stunning war trilogy. Other highlights include Nicholas Roeg's horror masterpiece Don't Look Now and Mads Mikkelsen's feature acting debut in Pusher. Bleak Week runs from Friday through June 11th. The themes may be bleak, but the filmmaking's exhilarating. Beth Accamando, KPBS News.
That's it for the podcast today. The podcast is edited by Brooke Ruth and hosted and produced by me, Lawrence K. Jackson. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
KPBS On Demand is supported by Alliance San Diego, reminding you to vote early. Return your ballot at any drop box or vote in person at any vote center. And remember, you have the right to vote as long as you're in line on Election Day by 8 p.m. Visit alliancesd.org for more.